Good morning, and thanks for being here. This is one of my favorite events of the conference, and the MedTech Innovator organization holds a special place in my heart. Their mission could not be better aligned with AdvaMed's mission and the industry's mission to serve patients with the very best technologies. Now, we all understand that some of the biggest innovations can come from the smallest companies, because the capacity to innovate is not tied to a stock price or an employee headcount. It's tied to ideas, work ethic, and passion. We'll see all of those values on display today. And of course, we'll see some really exciting next-gen technologies as well. In fact, the next medical breakthrough may very well come from a company in this room. I really do believe that, because I know how much MedTech Innovator is doing to make it happen. Last year, I had the opportunity to join the MTI Board of Directors. We've been able to do a lot of great work supporting emerging companies, making sure their products can get to people who need them. And Paul Grand has been instrumental in that work. He founded MedTech Innovator, of course, but it hardly stops there. Just look at the numbers of what he's done over the last several years. They've become the largest accelerator of medical devices in the world. In just 8 years, they've connected with more than 340 companies who've gone on to generate over $1.9 billion in follow-on funding and brought 60 new products to market. And they've continued to grow with record numbers of applications, successful startups, and corporate partners. We're so lucky to get to see some of the greatest MedTech Innovator companies at our conference every year. And we're also very lucky to get to call Paul a partner and a friend. Paul, thank you for everything you do on behalf of the medical technology industry, and most importantly, the patients we serve. Let's welcome Paul to the virtual stage.
Thank you, Scott. It's a pleasure working with you at AdvaMed and on MedTech Innovator's Board of Directors. I'm proud to call you a partner and a friend. Welcome everyone to the 2020 MedTech Innovator Finals. I'm extremely excited to be back here for the 6th year at the MedTech Conference powered by AdvaMed. Our mission is to improve the lives of patients by accelerating the growth of companies that are transforming the healthcare system. I'm proud to say that thanks to your help and the work of our partners, MedTech Innovator has now been recognized as the largest accelerator of medical devices in the world. As we like to say here in the MedTech industry, the patient needs to be at the center, and I'm proud to say that MedTech Innovator's alumni have gone on to bring 60 products to market to improve the lives of patients. I keep saying we. Who are we? We are the leaders you see here on the slide. Companies like our founding sponsors at Johnson & Johnson and RCT Ventures, as well as all of the other leaders of the industry that are part of MedTech Innovator. If you don't see your logo here on the slide, I invite you to join us for MedTech Innovator 2021. As I like to say, the search ends today. We started with over 1,000 companies applying this year, and we've narrowed down to the 5 finalists who are going to compete for us today. Now, we all know that generally small companies need to partner with large companies to bring their products to market, and that's why we selected the 62 companies you see on this slide to be part of this year's MedTech Innovator Showcase. All of these companies are available for partnering during the virtual MedTech conference, as well as on 17 on-demand panels that you can watch at your convenience. Please join me in welcoming the MedTech Innovator class of 2020. Let's take a few minutes to get to know them. Here's a peek into one of the meetings of the MedTech Innovator Virtual Accelerator.
She's about 11 days old.
Oh,
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Nice.
You got a great potential partner in that of a large health system. So thank you, Paul, and the rest of the team at MedTech Innovator. It's been an awesome journey.
You guys are all there just to help us through all the processes and to push us to achieve that next milestone. And for that, we're eternally grateful. Thank you.
We've made some great connections with new mentors and partners, and I really appreciate the in-kind services that have been provided from some of the MedTech Innovator partners.
Yeah, a big thank you to the MedTech Innovator team. Thanks to you, we have expanded our network, and now we have the American angle. That's probably the missing piece of the puzzle for Morwood's success. Thank you very much.
I think a lot of us in the pediatric MedTech community realize that, we need to band together a little bit and face off a series of some challenges associated with developing devices for the pediatric population. And this year's group has, I think, done that and just MTI community has really enabled that and allowed us to solve a lot of issues together.
So for providing us with the latest tools to organize, to communicate better with our potential investors, our current investors. Learned a lot to do with very little money given today's technology.
Yeah, thanks to MedTech Innovator, I got the pitch to a provider and a payer for the first time both today.
This has been a fantastic program from beginning to end. I loved everything from the interview process where we got to meet so many wonderful people. We actually found a new clinical regulatory consultant in Proxima through that, which has been a fantastic find for our company. We've loved interacting with the mentors, with the other teams, et cetera. It's just been a fantastic opportunity for us, and we wanted to say thank you for all of the support and the encouragement that we've gotten here.
All right, that's it for today. You guys are terrific. Thank you for all the energy and enthusiasm and excitement and all those nice words you guys just said. So thanks, everyone.
Thank
Guys,
you.
It's been an honor to get to know these companies. Thanks to the tireless enthusiasm of these innovators, I am supremely confident about the future of the medtech industry. I'm also excited to announce that thanks to AdvaMed, every one of these companies are now AdvaMed members, and they're able to work with you as peers. Thanks to the generosity of our partners, today's companies are competing for $500,000 in cash prizes, $350,000 as first prize, and you're going to choose the winner. Let's meet today's judges. We have Alp Alcanor from Baxter Healthcare. We have Stephen Ralph from W.O. Gore. We have Christos Montevukos from Olympus, Tomoku Ishikura from Moray Medical, and Tanya Curtis-Danowski from Johnson & Johnson. Now I'm excited to introduce our 5 finalists. We have Alex Schuler from Selvi, Annalisa Samir from Rayos, Farah Siddiqui from Circadia, Mark Barish from Moray Medical, and Rohan Dixit from Leaf Therapeutics. So first up, we have Farah Siddiqui from Circadia Health. Faris, tell us the story.
Thank you, Paul. Hi, I'm Faris Siddiqui, CEO and co-founder of Circadia Health. At Circadia, we enable early detection of respiratory failure, the 3rd leading cause of death. And we do that using our AI-powered contactless remote monitoring system. Our goal is to help reduce hospitalizations, ICU admissions, and to help save lives. Medicare spends $143 billion on hospitalizations every year. 18% of patients discharged from hospital to a post-acute facility are readmitted within 30 days. And 48% of all ICU admissions are linked to respiratory failure. The top 5 conditions responsible for readmissions all affect your lungs. So UTI, sepsis, COPD, and pneumonia. And monitoring respiratory status is critical. Data here shows on the left that COPD exacerbations or hospitalizations can be predicted several days in advance. Respiratory rate is also the #1 predictor of ICU admission in COVID. So monitoring leads to prediction, which leads to prevention. However, there is no standardized tool for monitoring respiratory status. For diabetes, you have continuous glucose monitoring. For hypertension, you have BP cuffs. But for anything respiratory related, there is no standardized, easy to use mechanism. And so we've built the world's first FDA-cleared AI-powered contactless monitoring platform. It consists of our contactless device and our HIPAA-compliant web portal, through which we augment clinical intelligence and send smart early warning alerts. Our system is mass-produced. We've built 2,000 devices. We've proven reimbursement, and boy, have we patented it. We filed 9 patents. We have one device, one powerful platform with 12 biosignals. Not only do we look at respiratory rate for clinical deterioration, we look at sleep quality for near rehab, and we look at bed exit and entry for falls in elderly patients. We validated it against the gold standard end-tidal CO2. So here you can see Circadia versus nasal pressure and abdominal effort, and it correlates very highly. At the bottom, you can see on the left that a typical routine nursing assessment will likely miss an increase in respiratory status of the patient in as little as 1 minute. We've amassed 12,000 nights of real-world data, and here's an example. So a female 73 years old in a skilled nursing facility, you can see on the 6th of September, we picked up an alert, and that prompted an emergency department visit. When the patient came back to the skilled nursing facility, it started stabilizing, but then started deteriorating again. So towards the 21st of September, we sent an alert which enabled intervention. The medical director instructed the patient sit up. This enabled 2 things. One, We enabled timely triage in the first instance. In the second instance, we prevented a hospitalization from happening. Imagine if this is your parent or your loved one. The medical director liked it so much, he's recommending us to other facilities now. Since FDA clearance 60 days ago, we've deployed in 5 facilities, and we've recently signed a 6,000 bed contract tracking towards $3 million in annual recurring revenue. Our 18-month sales pipeline sits at $18 million at the moment. We have clinical trials signed with Cleveland Clinic and running in COVID patients. We have a purchase order from UCLA and a trial here at the Royal Papworth Hospital. We're starting in nursing facilities because it's a white space segment hit the hardest by COVID. It's also privately owned, which means shorter sales cycles and greater path to sustainability. And then we're expanding or scaling with remote monitoring at home. We already have a PO from UCLA. Our business model is data as a service. We charge $0 upfront. Medicare pays $150. We charge $50 a month, and the providers make a net additional revenue of $100 per patient per month. We're based in London with deep healthcare expertise. We have 6 PhDs in our core team, and we're back with a world-class advisory team, including Esther Dyson. We've done all this with just $2 million since 2016. People that are most fragile and vulnerable need our support. We need to protect them, help us solve readmissions, and help us save patient lives. Thank you.
Farah's lovely presentation. My grandmother's in a nursing skilled facility, so I'm just wondering, she has a roommate. How does the technology work, and how do you make sure you don't have confusing signals with other patients in the room or other people?
Yeah, thank you, Tanya. So the device can range and filter between multiple people in one room. So you can set distance. So it calibrates according to distance and detects the nearest person to the device. You can also set the distance anywhere between 0 to 8 feet. So if the resident is approximately 3 feet, anything outside of that, or even if there's a nurse walking, it ignores those signals.
Great, thank you.
Paris, this is Christos. I have a question about scaling to the market, the home market. You mentioned that it is a $30 million patient market. Does
Right.
that correlate to, thank you. Does that correlate to business potential as well? And if so, how do you plan to scale into the market?
Right, absolutely. So Christos, thank you for that question. Just quickly, 30 million is the total annual number of users that need this device in the US alone. 16 million patients have diagnosed COPD in the US. And then there's a lot of patients that get discharged post-surgery. So imagine an orthopedic patient post-surgery gets opioids that leads to respiratory depression. So imagine this device being for chronic care management and also being implemented for patients post-surgery. And then, so how do we scale this? Well, there's multiple ways of doing that. We have different channel partners that we can integrate with. That includes McKesson and then Amwell or TeleDoc, telemedicine platforms, who we can do large-scale rollouts with.
Thank you.
I have my last question. So congratulations on signing on the contract for 6,000 beds. That's a great achievement. Can you talk a little bit about your fundraising status? How much have you raised so far? And then if you are raising any right now?
Absolutely. So we're very, very capital efficient, and we're very specific when it comes to investors. That's why we've only raised investments from specific venture funds that we feel can add value, as well as super angels. We've raised 2 million so far. I think we're good for the next 6 to 12 months. So we'll be raising again once we're deployed in 10 facilities. At the moment, we're in 5. So over the next sort of 60 to 90 days, we'll be deploying, and by the end of the year to early next year, Q1, we'll be looking to start fundraising conversations for our Series A. We'll be looking to raise somewhere between $7 to $10 million.
Yeah.
Great job, Faris. All right, thank you very much. All right, next up, we have Alex Schuler from Selvi. Alex, tell us about the company.
Thank you. Good day, everyone. My name is Alex Schuler, CEO and founder of Selvi, where we are leveraging the therapeutic potential of mitochondria. Before I elaborate, I'd like to share the story of Avery. Avery was born with a complex heart defect. In the procedure to save her life, she sustained an ischemia reperfusion injury, leading to a cardiogenic shock. Basically, her heart failed. Without treatment options and slim chances of survival, she was enrolled into a clinical trial at Boston Children's Hospital, receiving mitochondrial transplantation to ameliorate the ischemia-reperfusion damage. Within 24 hours, her heart came back. And today, she's a happy and healthy 3-year-old. Or, to quote her mother, she's a rock star. Ischemia-reperfusion injury arises whenever the blood flow is interrupted and subsequently reintroduced. So it is at the heart of the damage of conditions all of us know very well, such as heart attacks, strokes, or long surgical procedures such as Avery's. It's the world's #1 killer. At the root of the damage lies a dysfunction to the mitochondria. The mitochondria, the powerhouses of the cell. As they fail, cell functions deteriorate, ultimately leading to cell death. Selvi's approach to treat ischemia-reperfusion injury is radically different from past attempts in that it addresses this failing energy metabolism by directly augmenting and replacing damaged mitochondria. The approach was developed at Harvard Medical School and brought into its first clinical application. I joined this group of world-renowned experts as a repeat entrepreneur in the medical space, having started, built, and successfully exited Adhesive Medical. At Selvi, we aim to re-establish mitochondrial function by transplanting healthy mitochondria. Using cellular or tissue sources in our proprietary system, we can prepare a mitochondrial solution within less than 20 minutes. The mitochondria are then transplanted into the area affected, such as the heart after a heart attack. The mitochondria are quickly taken up by the damaged cells, reinvigorating the cellular energy metabolism. You can imagine it like jump-starting a car. The mitochondria save cells which would otherwise die. And it works. Safety and efficacy have been established in more than 20 preclinical studies. In a trial in pigs, we were able, in a study to mimic a heart attack, we were able to reduce the damage by 60%. But let me show you the difference this therapy makes. This mouse was exposed to 2 hours of no blood flow to the hind leg. Without mitochondrial transplantation, all this mouse can do is drag its leg behind. With mitochondrial transplantation, this leg's function could have been maintained. As you can see, this mouse properly steps up on the treadmill. The great successes in the preclinic allowed us to start the clinical trial that saved Avery's life, giving patients without treatment options a fighting chance. The preliminary results suggest that Selvi may be able to achieve 80% myocardial recovery in patients such as Avery. This is unprecedented. The therapy will be productized through a device. Like an espresso machine, Selvi will offer mitochondria therapy at the press of a button. Device and mitochondria will be approved as a combination product. The first indication will be in organ transplantation, where we will be able to increase the amount of successful donations by up to 30%, saving thousands in the process. We were awarded orphan status with the FDA, which comes with a more efficient path to approval and 7 years of marketing exclusivity. Organ transplantation is only the beginning. It's a stepping stone to reach patients that have suffered a heart attack or a stroke. We believe this therapy may benefit up to 2 million people in the US each year alone. Join Selvi to help us turn those patients into rock stars, just like Avery. Thank you.
Okay, I will go first. Thank you so much for amazing presentation. This Avery's story is very inspiring. And I would say know your current ongoing clinical studies, and if there is any preliminary result, can you share about that?
Of course, I'm happy to. So this study has been designed for safety. We have treated 15 patients so far that have, like Avery, sustained a cardiogenic shock and ended up on a heart-lung machine. So far, 80% of those patients in a study against the historical control were able to recuperate, to separate from ECMO, which compares to a 29% expected rate, which is really incredible. And this is a good kind of story not only for patients like Avery, but also for adults who may end up in a cardiogenic shock after a heart attack, for instance.
Thank you.
Very nice presentation, Alex. This is up. There are quite a few emerging technologies, like with stem cell therapies in this area. How would you compare this within that competitive landscape?
Yeah. So there's of course a lot of emerging technologies, and at the end of the day, we'll see which one is most effective. And I also believe that it's not a winner takes it all market. And the differences in patients would probably always allow for differences in treatment options. You mentioned stem cells, which is an interesting technology and probably very well close to what we are trying to do using cellular components. I believe that our therapy is more tailored to the problem than stem cells, for we are really replacing the parts of the cell that have been damaged during ischemia. So it's more proactive. We're trying to keep the cells from dying in the first place, whereas stem cell approaches seek to regenerate that tissue.
All right, great job, Alex. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All
Thank you very much.
Next up, we have Rohan Dixit from Leaf Therapeutics. Rohan, tell us the Leaf story.
Thanks, Paul. I'm Rohan, the CEO at Leaf Therapeutics, where we have created a smart patch that is transforming mental health from the inside out. That's me in the middle there. And what you probably can't see in the photo is that I had clinical anxiety. Now, if you have a loved one or you yourself have struggled with a mental health condition, you know that it's an invisible illness. And because of that, it often goes untreated. And I found out that I wasn't alone in that. Even in the best of times, America has a crisis in mental health. But the CDC reports that just over the past 4 months, the rates of anxiety and depression in the United States have reached 1 in 3 adults, or almost 80 million people. Now, most of those people are not being treated. And the primary reason for that is that there are not enough clinicians to deal with the scale of that problem. The second major issue is that clinicians oftentimes are guessing because there are not commonly used biomarkers in the treatment of mental health. And finally, because the way mental health care is traditionally delivered is very labor intensive, we end up spending almost $240 billion every year on anxiety, depression, and other mental health conditions, making them the most expensive medical condition in the country. And that's not even to speak of the cost to a patient. At Leaf, we have solved all of those issues with a single device and platform we call the Leaf RX. And that's geared around a new biomarker called heart rate variability, or HRV. Using this biomarker and our billion heartbeat artificial intelligence system, we've shown in a group of 900 patients that we can actually predict, for the first time we believe, a mental health condition purely based on biology. We show here that we have a 94% accuracy at detecting which patients have clinical anxiety against the GAD-2, which is a standardized assessment of clinical anxiety. But our device can do more than that. Because it knows how you're feeling in the moment, it can turn on exactly at the right time, and using vibrations, help guide your breathing to improve that biomarker and self-regulate your emotional response to a stressful situation. And we've shown that real-time intervention can actually bend the behavioral health curve down for anxiety, taking folks who have high on a standard scale to subclinical in just 8 weeks. But we've done more than that. In our clinical trial results, we've shown that we can actually improve the HRV biomarker almost 10 points or 50% in just 3-minute exercises with the device. So not only are we changing symptoms of a mental health condition, but we are driving physiology. This is data-driven mental health. And we've helped thousands of people so far with our device. And now that it is insurance reimbursable, we're able to offer it to people for as low as $10 a month, and in some cases for free. We've had incredible clinical partners at Stanford, at UCSF, and the VA, but the true impact of our device comes from stories like this from one of our early users who said she no longer takes medication for anxiety rather, and called the Leaf a godsend. It's stories like that that really keep us going and make us feel that we're on the right track. Now we've gone beyond just the device and included, through an agreement with the largest telepsychiatry company in the country, almost 3,500 clinicians available in our app, able to support a patient if they need more help. And we have a plan to go from anxiety and beyond to depression and then substance abuse, which would give us a TAM of almost 1 in 3 people in the United States pre-COVID. Now, we have some exciting news to share. This is kind of the first time that we've been able to announce this, but we're now working with a top 3 pharmacy chain to bring Leaf to 700 stores across the country in 2021. And we've come a long way with Leaf, but now we need your help. We're in the midst of a mental health pandemic, and we need your support to help our technology get to more people. So please vote for us. We're Leaf Therapeutics, and we're on a mission to transform mental health from the inside out. Thank you.
Yeah, very quickly. So I'm, Brian, very familiar with the heart rate variability because it's being used a lot in heart failure to predict that. Very quick question, why is your solution sort of differentiated from what's being used today in other device technologies, looking at HRV? Or how is it differentiated?
Great question. Thanks for asking that. So number one, we are the most accurate HRV wearable in the market. We are an FDA Class 2 medical device and an ECG device, but what is really incredible about Leaf is that it goes beyond that. We have found a way to take HRV and HRV biofeedback, which is an intervention based on that biomarker, and deliver it to people in real time, to people that are undergoing anxiety, for example, in the moment. And we do that through a vibrational pattern, haptic pattern that we patented in the device itself. And so what we can kind of do, you can imagine, right, for example, I'm very nervous giving this presentation. My biomarkers are kind of going out of control, and the device sees that, recognizes it, and it actually starts to feed back my heart rate variability to me in real time in a tiny microdose. And so I don't know if you noticed during the presentation, but I was able to course correct a little bit by following along with the vibration and breathing just a little bit to kind of bend how my symptoms were feeling in the moment. And so it's that ability of the device to accurately measure HRV, but then intervene at the exact time that it's needed, and for only the amount of time that it's needed, that's really breakthrough with our product.
Okay, thank you.
All right, next up we have Mark Barish from Moray Medical. Mark, tell us the Moray story.
So I'm the co-founder of Moray Medical. When your doctor puts that cold stethoscope on your chest, they're listening for the squishy sound of blood flowing backward through the mitral valve of your heart. This mitral regurgitation, or MR, can be debilitating and even fatal. Traditional open surgery helps very few of the 2 million patients who develop moderate to severe MR in the US each year. A transcatheter edge-to-edge repair or tear implant, better known as the MitraClip, could help hundreds of thousands of these patients. Unfortunately, clinical data indicates that too few specialists will ever master the disposable drive mechanism, which some compare to an Etch-a-Sketch, for it to ever fill the patient need. Philip Labby and I founded Moray Medical to replace the Etch-a-Sketch approach with an intuitive digital therapy system. Philip is the roboticist behind a series of groundbreaking medical robots, and my background with Intuitive Surgical and other Silicon Valley ventures has helped us assemble a strong team with a deep understanding of mitral valve repair. We've been getting great help from Fred St. Gore, the inventor of the MitraClip, and an impressive network of individual investors. The Moray team has developed a system that will enable thousands of cardiologists who now deliver stents to also treat the MR of their patients. Moray's reusable coral driver and disposable catheters are guided by an augmented reality display. And with Moray's proprietary input, the system makes it trivial for the cardiologist to manipulate the implant, freeing them to concentrate on the tissues and the hemodynamics of their patient. The disposable Moray catheter is initially inserted and advanced using standard techniques. But once it's mounted to the reusable coral driver, robotic and image data are combined in an interactive digital environment, which allowing the cardiologist to drive directly along the viewing planes. The proprietary Clipper implants integrated with a single-use Moray catheter in a disposable package that's easier to learn, more efficient and precise to position, and because we reuse our drive system, much less expensive to make. The Clipper therapy is just the start. The reusable coral driver will also drive other plug-and-play catheters tailored to a series of multi-billion-dollar interventional market needs. Along with a strong team, huge markets, and amazing technology, Moray will also benefit from existing reimbursement, 9 issued patents with more on the way, and a well-defined regulatory pathway, allowing us to deliver truly disruptive interventional dexterity. Help us to empower tens of thousands of cardiologists to repair millions of broken hearts.
I think I appreciate the ease of use and the improvements with respect to the application of the therapy. But do you expect to have any positive improvements on the patient outcomes?
Yeah, we expect a number of improvements. The biggest thing here is frankly availability of care. These life-preserving therapies, mitral repairs, transcatheter mitral repairs, are just not widely enough available. And frankly, our robot is really set up and designed to allow the therapy to move from what's now a center of excellence market, in which they're doing very, very well. But even though the bulk of the procedures are being done in much smaller centers where people are not seeing the volumes, that's the area where the efficacy and safety is not what it should be. It's really there that our robotic technology is going to raise the bar and allow the bulk of the patients to benefit from these really life-preserving technologies. There are a whole bunch of other advantages the doctor and the patient are going to see. Digital checklists. We've got virtual movement that allows safe planning. We've got an undo button if things go south, where you can go back and back to a safe place. But access to care is the primary issue in the one that we're really solving.
Okay, thank you.
Mark, this is Stephen. Can you perhaps expand a little bit more on the regulatory pathway and also the timing as well, please?
Yeah, that's actually something the MedTech Innovator mentors at Experian have really helped us with. We've really solidified both our planning and really accelerated the timing through this whole project. But we're planning a pre-sub meeting here in the next few months, and we're going to lay out a 2-step process, filing process at that meeting. Step 1 is a 510K filing, which we're going to do in 2021. And that's going to be on a Class 2 steerable sheath. The second step of the process is going to be a PMA filing. Our pivotal trial for that's going to combine implant technology, again, leveraging existing implants, but combine it with our then approved steerable. So this will be an acute non-inferiority study. We're going to have data both on the centers of excellence and really where the bulk of the patients are being treated, the small centers. And we're going to have secondary endpoints, which are going to help us drive adoption.
Mark, this is Tanya. I'm curious about your capital needs to conduct these studies that could be expensive.
Yeah, studies can be expensive, and I'll admit robotics have a reputation for also being expensive. But the reality is, you know, we have a robot which is frankly orders of magnitude simpler, fewer parts, less code, because of our architecture, which really helps on that side. Regarding the studies themselves, we've done both bottom up and top down, looking at comparable prior ventures. And we're very confident that with less than $10 million of investment, we're going to have our 510 authorization in hand. And that for a total of around the $40 million range, that we'll get all the way through our pivotal trial. And we are very much looking forward to getting started on both.
Thank you.
Okay, next up, we have Annalisa Somera. Tell us the Rayos story.
Thanks, Paul. My name is Annalisa Somera, CEO of Rayos. I've spent the past 15 years working with early stage companies, wearing many hats, including VC, tech transfer, and playing senior management roles in a bunch of companies. And I was fine with these supportive roles until I came across this wearable that came out of one of the biggest labs in the world that has the potential to impact the lives of people like my friend Jane here, a competitive swimmer and a gifted student who has something called hydrocephalus that holds her back. What's hydrocephalus? Before I tell you what it is, let me tell you what it feels like. And it feels like a ticking time bomb in your head. And it's caused by excess cerebrospinal fluid on the brain, and there's no cure for it. And the standard treatment right now is neurosurgery. And there are 1 million people who have this hydrocephalus problem. Shunts are neurosurgically placed in these patients, and it's essentially tubing that drains the brain of this excess fluid. And this technology has largely remained unchanged for the past 50 years. The problem with these shunts is that they fail, and they fail almost all the time because of infection, obstruction, dislodgement, that sort of thing. And when that happens, the shunts need to be revived. Not only that, patients exhibit nonspecific things like headaches and nausea, which brings them to the ER. And imaging is used for diagnosis, but it's inconclusive, time-consuming, and exposes patients to radiation. And after that, they either go home because they're okay, or the surgeon opens them up to see their shunt flowing, or they get a shunt revision, and this cycle repeats itself over and over. So there's no easy way to assess the flow in these hydrocephalus patients until today. Rayos is developing FlowSense, a non-invasive wireless wearable sensor that is mounted on the patient's neck. And it kind of looks like a Band-Aid, but inside are sophisticated electronics that can detect the presence and magnitude of CSF. And data is sent wirelessly to an iPad. Our clinical work has been published in the biggest name journals in the world, which has brought us a lot of attention in the neurosurgical community. It had also gotten the attention of the FDA, who gave its breakthrough designation earlier this year. What does that mean? Essentially, a faster path to market. The first version of FlowSense will be a single-use disposable device for use in the hospital in inpatient and outpatient settings. The second device will be a remote monitoring device for home use. Hydrocephalus patients are expensive, and they're in the hospital a lot. But Rayos has the potential to change all of this by reducing unnecessary ER visits, radiation exposure, and more. But we're not stopping at hydrocephalus. We have a platform of technologies in a number of clinical applications and already have clinical published studies in those areas. These are my warriors, Team Rayos. This isn't our first rodeo. We've been doing this for over 20 years and have FDA approvals and exits under our belt. And here are clinical partners, some of the biggest name hospitals of the world. And this list is growing, but we need help. And see, this is where you come in, a MedTech Innovator. With this winning, you can help us launch our device by next year in just under $2 million. We don't need 5, we don't need 10, we don't need $15 million to hit the market. No RCT, no PMA, just under $2 million to make a splash in one of the biggest untapped market opportunities today. So let's give hydrocephalus the spotlight it deserves, here on stage in the biggest medical device conference in the world. Far too long have patients like Jane and her 1 million hydrocephalus warriors have been in the shadows, and I am ready to lead this team as a CEO to success. And hopefully, after today, as MedTech Innovator's first female grand champion. Let's make history together. Thank you.
Thank you for that presentation. Judges, questions for Annalisa?
Annalisa, I love your enthusiasm about this opportunity. Thank you. This is Christos from Olympus. Just a clarification, I guess. Is this device, your therapy, used in home or the hospital? You mentioned something about home care, sorry.
Yeah, great question. It's actually used in both. So we have two products. So the first one is used in the hospital, that single-use disposable device to be used in a couple different settings, both in inpatient and outpatient use. And we're looking to launch that device in Q4 of next year. We're also developing a home device for remote patient monitoring for continuous care, and that's in development right now, and we're looking to launch that in 2023.
Thank you.
Annalisa, this is Tanya. I love your energy and enthusiasm, and there's a chance you may talk as fast as I do, so I love it. I think you've got a great health economics story as well. Have you considered that? You're talking about saving the healthcare system a tremendous amount of money, along with all the other risks for the patients that you've identified.
Yeah, it's something I think about almost every day. You know, I mentioned that hydrocephalus patients are expensive. They're high healthcare utilizing patients, and they're in the hospital all of the time. You know, I've talked to patients and caregivers who've, you know, been in the ER sometimes 10, 12 times a year. And, you know, that's expensive, and the revisions are, you know, even more expensive. And, you know, 16% of patients come back, you know, for a revision, sometimes, you know, higher depending on the hospital. So in terms of health economics, there's really a story to be told there. And, you know, we're going to be looking at things like, you know, potentially reducing length of stay, reducing readmission rates, reducing unnecessary imaging, you know, all the, you know, things that hydrocephalus patients use in upcoming HEOR studies next year.
Great, great. That'll be wonderful to see.
All right, Annalisa, terrific job.
Thank you.
All right, we've seen all the pitches. Now it's in your hands. Open up your email and you'll find a special email from SurveyMonkey sent by the conference. This will have a special unique link for you to vote. All you have to do is click the name of the company. That will take you to SurveyMonkey, hit submit, and you're done. That's it. Please make sure that you don't forward that to other people, because that link is just for you. No one else can use that. So it's a unique link for each voter. As soon as you're done, you should get a confirmation email telling you that you voted for the company. All right, so remember, voting is happening right now. Check your email, make sure you have that link, click it, vote for your favorite. This is the 6th year that we're running our competitions at the MedTech Conference. We've had some amazing winners in past years. I had a chance to sit down with a couple of them to hear about their companies, get a little update. Let's hear from them now. Hey, John, it's great to see you.
It's great to see you, Paul.
So it's been a little while since you won MedTech Innovator several years ago. Love to hear a little bit about what's been going on in your life over at Day Zero Diagnostics since then. So maybe some quick updates from you.
Sure. I mean, since we won, we raised our Series A. We've gotten a substantial non-dilutive funding award through CARB-X, which really is kind of a mission-driven way of funding kind of the efforts that we've had around antibiotic resistance. You know, the company's now up to 35 employees. We're, you know, just moved into a new headquarters in the Boston area. And I think we're doing stuff that has never been done before in this space. Just deep science that is building capabilities that the world needs and that nobody else can do at the moment. So we're feeling good about kind of where we are on our development path.
I wish we were seeing each other in person, but you know, for now, I guess this will have to do. But it's been a long time, it feels like, since 2018 when you were voted the MedTech Innovator Grand Finalist. I know a ton of stuff has been happening. What did you do with the prize money? Where did that what were you able to accomplish with them?
I wish I could say the prize money went on holidays and good times, but it actually went on the whole amount went on a clinical trial for opioid use disorder, for taking methadone addicts in full withdrawal and then using the device to lower the symptoms and mitigate the symptoms. And it was great. We got a 45% reduction in anxiety at the very worst point of the withdrawal process. So we demonstrated that the device could be used for improving opioid withdrawal. So that was a good start.
That's amazing. So you were able to take the prize money into a clinical study. That's pretty game changing, I think, as a company, right? How about funding, other things? Any other updates you want to tell us about?
We are in the middle of another fundraising round. It never stops. We've closed on 2 million and we've got 3 million open. And that gets us through those FDA approvals. And it also does a 1,000-person study that we're doing in fibromyalgia as a one-arm study to show willingness to pay direct out-of-pocket, because we're going down a dual pathway of direct consumer and reimbursed.
Matt, it's so great to see you. I can't believe it's been a year since you were crowned the winner of MedTech Innovator 2019. What are some of the ways in which that really helped your company?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely propelled us to the center stage, so to speak. And there was it taught me to capitalize when the iron is hot, or strike while the iron's hot. So, so think about that. So the end of September, moving into the final quarter of the year, we're trying to raise money. We're startups. We're always raising money. We're trying to raise money at that point in time. And there's a lot of movement and a lot of traction right after MedTech Innovator finale. And New Year's happens, and then COVID happens, and everything goes flat. And so it will, just like everyone else, it's been a challenge in a number of unanticipated ways, and we're lucky to and happy that we think we're seeing the other side of that now.
So Matt, do you have any advice for this year's competitors and this year's winner?
Yeah, for this year's winner, strike while the iron is hot. You are about to have a lot of publicity and a lot of access that you didn't have 2 weeks ago. So strike while the iron is hot.
All right, Matt. Good seeing you. Take care, Matt. So this has been an incredibly exciting competition. MedTech Innovator's been doing this now for 8 years in total. This is the 6th year we're doing it at the MedTech conference. The pitches this year were just outstanding. If you look over in the corner of my screen, you'll see a little window. That is going to be tracking the votes as they're coming in. We've already had a ton of votes. So people have been voting throughout this competition, but you still have the opportunity to vote for about the next 15 minutes. So if you haven't voted yet, please place your vote. You'll be able to see votes as they're coming in over there in the corner. So just look right there. All right, so we have our judges here. I want to find out what they thought about their experience in general in MedTech Innovator and their comments on these pitches. Let's start up first with Tanya Curtis-Danowski from Johnson & Johnson. Tanya.
Hey, Paul, how are you? Thank you so much. This has been such a privilege for me. This is my first year, but J&J's 7th year being part of the reviews and working with the finalists. And I am always struck by how inventors bring their personal experiences to the forefront for their inventions, like Rohan, who have taken the time to figure out and find a solution for patients. So on behalf of patients everywhere, I thank all the entrepreneurs out there. I was struck by the passion and the creativity, but also solutions that each of these finalists are bringing to the forefront of patients. So I personally have enjoyed this experience and this journey with you. I know it's stressful for all of you, but this is exciting. And I just want to say once again, thank you for this time and allowing all of us to be able to work with you and experience your innovation side by side.
Thanks, Tanya. I mean, you are amazing. You and your team at J&J have just been such an incredible part of this program, as you said, for 7 years now. What an amazing journey it's been for all of us, and just going on the road with us every single city we go to, every single virtual pitch event. You and the team are all there, so thank you,
Paul. No, thank you.
All right, next, Alp Akinor from Baxter.
Well, Paul, thank you. We've had a great time, despite all the limitations. This has been an effective and productive program. And you and the rest of the MTI team deserve much credit, much applause for that. As the Baxter team, my colleagues and I have enjoyed greatly interacting with many of the companies, learning about innovative new technologies as reviewers, as judges, as mentors. So we very much appreciate being part of the MTI community and for the opportunity to be here today. Thank you for that.
Thanks, Al. After we originally formed MedTech Innovator, we had Johnson & Johnson and RCT, who were the first sponsors, and then Baxter was the next one. So thank you for being part of this for all these years. All right, next up, Tomoko Ishikura from Moray Medical. Tomoko.
Thank you so much, Paul. I, again, really enjoyed this year. This was our third year, and then seems like the finals are getting more and more difficult to choose. And especially this year, NIPRO didn't mentor any of these 5 finals companies. And then I've only seen before the mentor program started, and I'm so impressed and surprised by the power of the mentorship program, how MTI team and then all the sponsors help the companies to be such a wonderful candidates for the finals. And yeah, it's been a pleasure working with you. And then I really love this program. This is one of my most favorite activities as a NIPRO employee. And yeah, thank you. I'm really excited to see who's going to win.
Thanks, Tomoko. Look, we love working with you and the rest of your team. It's incredible. We've had such a great opportunity to learn so much as well about the market in Japan from you. I know our companies have told us about that as well. And just in general, working with Moray Medical has just been a fantastic experience. So thanks to you and Ryota and all the other members of the Moray team. And it's been great to see into your home a little bit this year. It's a preview we hadn't had before. Get to meet your dog and everybody else. All right, move on then to Stephen Ralph from WL Gore. Stephen.
Good morning, Paul. So thank you for giving us the opportunity to be here. For Gore, this is the third year of sponsoring MedTech Innovator. And for me personally, this is the second year I've been involved in the program. And I think some of the highlights has really been the high caliber of the finalists, and in general, the companies that have presented in terms of their pitches. Really, sort of addressing the unmet clinical needs and those opportunities. And I think, looking at the finalists, the other thing that's very apparent to me is the very sort of diverse disease state or different therapeutic or diagnostic areas as well. So it's great to see that. And also the passion that the CEOs and the founders have with their companies. So it's been a great experience. And I just wish everyone the best of success for today and for the future. So thank you.
Thanks, Stephen. We've had such a great time working with Gore over the years. You guys have been a great partner, great team, mentors. We've always heard great feedback from the companies about the expertise in material sciences and others. So fantastic. Thanks for being part of this, Stephen. And next up, Christos Monavukas from Olympus.
Great. Hello, Paul. Good morning, everyone. Hello from the entire Olympus team. We joined MTI the last couple of years. We sponsored them, but as Paul mentioned, the group was around before that. And what impressed us the most, and the reason why we joined in the first place, was the fact that the team employed a very rigorous vetting process for choosing the finalists. And it is true today, it will be the most difficult choice that we ever made. I think it's a very close run between two companies. And so we enjoyed that over the years. We believe that MTI has built a very thriving community of entrepreneurs and industry that helped over the years, again, to advance important solutions for our patients and customers. And we are very proud to be part of that. We look forward to crowning the winner of this year. Congratulations to all for achieving this milestone so far, and good luck.
Thank you, Christos. Fantastic working with you and the great team over at Olympus. A whole number of you, Olympus as well as others, have also been part of our Asia Pacific program, which you guys all know is a parallel program, or for anyone watching this who doesn't know, we have a parallel program in Asia Pacific. Most of these partners are participating there as well, so thank you all for that. Okay, so the exciting part over here, again, if you look over, look over that way, like being a weatherman. Look at the little box over here in the corner and you'll see votes coming in. I just saw one for Leaf Therapeutics. So the votes are still coming in. People have been voting throughout this whole thing, which is very exciting. So watch that screen and you'll see votes as they're coming in. Next up, now we're going to give each of our finalists 1 minute. We have 1 minute each, guys, to tell us in your personal words a little bit about yourself. Just very quickly, I'm going to go through each of you. Just tell, like I said, like 20-second, 30-second answers. Just tell us, why, number one, you think you should win. And my second question for you is going to be about, something personal related to your experience during COVID. I know you guys are all working at home, and I just want to know how this has affected you. I'm going to start off first with Farah Siddiqui from Circadia Health. Tell us why you think, in your own words, Circadia should win the grand prize.
Hi, everyone. I'm Farah Siddiqui, CEO and co-founder of Circadia. At Circadia, we enable early detection of respiratory failure. COVID's been a huge accelerant for our business. We've been able to procure purchase orders from the likes of UCLA. We've just signed a massive contract with a large nursing home chain in the US. And, if you look at the overall nursing home market, it's a white space segment. A lot of patients are fragile and frail. They're not being monitored. We help protect them. We help solve readmissions, and we're here to save patient lives.
And on a personal note, I'd just love to hear, how has the pandemic affected you?
So it's been a huge accelerant for our business. We've received FDA clearance over the last 6 months. We've proven out a reimbursement model. We've mass-produced devices through the crisis as well. So on all fronts, we've hired more people. We've just hired 8 engineers in the last 30 days. It's been a huge accelerant for the business, and we're extremely proud of the efforts and sort of embracing the challenge that COVID's presented us.
Thank you. You guys have done an amazing job. I've had personal experience with your technology, as you know, giving your device to my father when he was sick to monitor him. And we really appreciate the work you're doing. You're just doing a fantastic job. Great customer service, great team. Thank you, Faris. Next up, Alex Schuler from Selvi. Alex, tell us, why do you think you should win MedTech Innovator 2020?
Good question. There's such a stellar cohort of finalists, so it is tough to stand out. I think at Selvi, we are targeting one of the key diseases that everyone or most of us have been touched by, because in strokes, heart attacks, in long surgical procedures, or in conjunction with organ transplantation, whenever the blood flow in your body is stopped, damage arises. And today, there's no cure. So there's thousands, millions affected by the lack of blood flow due to heart attacks or strokes each year. And we have a highly promising device-enabled mitochondria-based therapy, first in class, to treat this ischemic reperfusion injury. And with this therapy, we've already given patients, 15 children without treatment options, a fighting chance. I think that's worth a win, helping us accelerate towards market and continuing to impact patients.
Great. Well, we're very excited that you're doing this work. The story is really incredible, and it's great to have you back as a returning company in MedTech Innovator. So thanks for being here.
No, thank you.
All right, Alex, I'm going to now move on to Rohan. So Rohan Dixit, Leaf Therapeutics, tell us very quickly, why do you think you should be the winner for MedTech Innovator 2020?
Thanks, Paul. I'm Rohan, the CEO at Leaf Therapeutics. First, just wanted to thank you and the whole competition, all the teams in our cohort. It's been an incredible experience. At Leaf, we make smart patch for mental health. And as I kind of mentioned in our pitch, I've suffered with mental health issues myself, anxiety and depression. And so this is something that's close to my heart and also close to the heart of our team. I think all of us really do care about actually making an impact on mental health. And unfortunately, we've seen kind of over the last 4, 5, 6 months, the mental health of all of us take a little bit of a hit. And so we're very proud and honored to be able to help people in that situation.
Thank you. Mental health has been, a huge challenge for everybody, especially this year. and being able to have a technology that like in real time can remind people to actually take a minute and breathe and be present. I think that's pretty incredible. It could be a game changer for mental health. So very excited about that. You know, these are all game-changing technologies. If I didn't use the word game-changing before, when I said Circadia and Selvi, these are game-changing technologies. Circadia, you know, in its field for monitoring, Selvi for, you know, for heart disease, Leaf Therapeutics for mental health. Now let's hear about Moray Medical, Mark Barish.
Well, I have to agree. All 5 of these companies really are amazing with wonderful technology and really solid business plans. I think Moray does stand out, and the reason we exist is to expand access to care. The world will fund new therapies and better patient monitoring, but right now the healthcare system is just desperately in need of investment in technologies which increase availability of care. Moray's beachhead improves delivery of an existing validated heart valve therapy that's needed by millions, but right now can only be delivered by a very small group of super highly skilled specialists. And our low-cost, easy-to-use digital delivery system is going to enable local cardiologists who know their patients to treat their valve disease safely and effectively. So Moray should win because valve repair is just the start, and our robotic approach is going to improve access throughout a huge segment of the healthcare market and prove that companies really can do extremely well by concentrating on access to care. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mark. You know, the ability to take a technology from the hands of 100 or so surgeons and bring it to thousands of surgeons all over the world is something that's incredibly exciting about the work you're doing at Moray. It's been great to get to know you and your team. You know, you've just got, you know, such a great story. So fantastic work. Thank you. All right, next, Annalisa Somera from Rayos. Tell us, why do you think Rayos should be the winner of MedTech Innovator 2020?
Thanks, Paul. Thanks, Paul. First of all, thank you so much, MedTech Innovator, for this opportunity. I agree with the group. This is just a stellar group of 5 finalists. I'm really in such good company. I think Rayos deserves your vote because really it's because of the patients that we're targeting. We're developing a wearable, non-invasive sensor for patients with hydrocephalus. And there's about 1 million Americans who have this condition. And for one reason or another, they're forgotten. They're out of the spotlight. And I don't know if it's because, you know, a politician or a celebrity hasn't been personally affected by it. But, you know, definitely more work needs to be done for hydrocephalus patients. And every day I continue to be touched by patients who contact us, by neurosurgeons who contact us. And, you know, with this win, we can propel hydrocephalus care and research, you know, to the market and to the spotlight. That is well deserved.
Well, I can tell you, it's very impressive that you've got a camera set up outside out front as we get a chance to see your pumpkins. Nice work, very timely. Rohan's thing for you. I love you being outdoors. That's where it's safest for all of us. But seriously, the work you guys are doing at Rayos, incredibly exciting. We've seen companies in the space, and you know, you guys are just completely different and doing something, you know, very, as I said, game-changing for all of you. So super exciting. Congratulations to all of you, and such a great job. You know, not only in your pitches today, your participation in MedTech Innovator, working with your mentors. I mean, the feedback we've had on all these companies has just been outstanding. Just for all of you watching, these are companies you want to be involved with. It doesn't matter who is the grand prize winner today. Every single one of these companies is actually going to receive a prize for making it to our finals, which I'll tell you about shortly. But I want you to know these are all winners. You know, you should, if you're an investor, if you're a partner, whomever, you want to back these companies. Not only are they just great technologies in huge markets, but ultimately these are all just great people, great teams. These are the kind of people you want to work with. So it's been great working with all of you. All right, so we need to move ahead and get to our voting here. Our winners. So what we're going to do now is we're going to announce there's several awards here at MedTech Innovator. We're going to start off first with a couple of awards that are separate from the grand prize. So to begin, number 1, this is it now, you know, voting is done. So I'm going to turn off our voting window over here. You still see votes are coming in, and I'm really excited that people are still voting. But I want us to be focused now on just the winners. All right, so first off, MedTech Innovator had a best video competition that went along with this. We had all of the 60 companies in our cohort, all outstanding companies. By the way, not just our finalists, all 62 companies in this program were selected because they were just super high performing, incredible companies from all across different sectors across the industry. I highly encourage you to go check all those companies out. But we're here in the finals. We're going to announce some winners. All the companies made 1-minute videos, which you can watch on our website. And these aren't just pitch videos. These are stories telling you all about their company. You can meet their team. You can learn about the problem they're trying to solve. They're just incredibly highly produced, although done for very low cost. They're incredible. Our best video winner, so we let the audience here vote, just like you're voting for the finalists. We let the audience vote for the winner. The winner of the best video for 2020, our first award, is Leaf Therapeutics. Rohan. Congratulations, Rohan.
Incredible.
Best video award. Best video. Congratulations. That was an amazing video. Very quickly, Rohan, that video is terrific. You know, was this a big team effort, or did you do that by yourself?
It was a huge team effort, and we're just so excited to be able to share our story. It's such an honor. Thank you so much, everybody.
Absolutely. All right, Rohan, thank you. Congratulations on the video. Let's move on to our next award. All right, next up, every year, MedTech Innovator has worked as long as we've had an accelerator, every year as one of our partners, we've had JLabs. And what JLabs has been doing is giving people a home. I mean, as an innovator, one of the toughest things is, you know, you feel like you're kind of alone, you're working in your little silo. MedTech is, you know, a subsector within life sciences, which is an overall subsector within tech. You know, there's lots of companies out there, but MedTech is unique and special. And being able to have a place, a home where you can work with peers who are working on similar things, walk down the hall and talk to other people is super unique. JLabs provides that in locations all over the world, all over the US. And we've been really proud to have them as a partner where they've given away each year several awards to the winners or to companies within MedTech Innovator that they select for a number of reasons. So Cara Bartone is here from JLabs. Cara, just very quickly tell us a little bit about a little more about this award and what it entails, and then we can announce your winners.
Great, thank you so much, Paul. So each awardee will receive a grant worth $25,000 towards residency in one of the many Johnson & Johnson Innovation JLabs locations around the world, where they'll have access to lab and office space, specialized equipment, mentorship, and other resources. Moreover, these companies will have access to the JLabs global network of open innovation ecosystems, enabling and empowering innovators across a broad healthcare spectrum, including pharmaceutical, medical device, consumer, and health tech sectors.
Fantastic, Cara. So, do you want to announce your winners, or you want me to do it?
No, I want to do it.
Go ahead, please tell us who is the first winner of a JLabs award.
So, Paul, I'm pleased to announce the first award goes to a company automating the pathology lab to transform cancer care, Parker Isaac Instruments, with Alex Bedell, CEO.
Congratulations, Alex.
Congratulations, Alex.
Hey,
Appreciate
Alex, you want to say a few words?
Yeah, well, Paul, thank you so much. Just want to first say I can't wait to see who wins the competition today. As you can see from your intro, Paul, I'm here by myself in a basement. So we know that MedTech is done through a community, and that's really been the power of MedTech Innovator. And we're just so thankful to be able to participate with JLabs, and we're really excited for the next step. So thank you so much.
Great, thank you. All right, so our second award goes to one of the MedTech Innovator finalists, who is developing a wearable for the non-invasive monitoring of ventricular shunt function in hydrocephalus patients, Rayos, with CEO Annalisa Samara.
All right.
Wow, thank you so much. Thank you, JLabs. Really appreciate it.
It's going to be terrific
Our
to have
pleasure.
you guys.
Congratulations.
Yeah, no,
Thank you.
Cara, right? It's going to be so great. We get to see these companies. Every time we visit a JLabs, which we do every year, it's great to be able to see these companies there working as residents. And, we've had, I think, about a dozen from MedTech Innovator over the years that you've awarded this to. So thank you, Cara, for that.
That's right. Thank you.
Okay, so now we're really at the end here, and we have to announce our winners. So again, this has been an incredibly exciting year. This has been a year that we've had incredible challenges as a world. We've had, a combination of a pandemic that has really made things so difficult for not only people who've gotten sick and have been affected, but also all these innovators who are trying to really, save not only lives during the pandemic, and many of these people have, but also they're trying to change the future for all of us in healthcare. And we've had, slowdowns. They've been able to do their clinical studies. This has just been an incredibly challenging year for some of these companies. Other ones have thrived, as you've heard from some of them. This has been an accelerant where their technology has really made a difference in the pandemic. So, we've just been incredibly impressed by the ability of these innovators to do things during a pandemic that just blow us away, and continue to participate in a program like this. And while they're developing the technology, it's just amazing. So we've been unbelievably impressed. All of you are winners. I mentioned before, every single one of the finalists are going to get a check for $25,000 for making it to the finals. So congratulations to all the finalists for that. All of you are winners, as are all of the companies in our cohort, but you're the actual cash prize winners. We also had a $25,000 prize that went to one of our execution award winners that happened earlier this week, which was incredibly exciting as well. We'll introduce companies at the end. I'm going to save that for the very end of this. But for right now, I want to make sure we take this moment. That was Vena Vitals, by the way. I should have said that. So Vena Vitals is our execution award winner. Fantastic job. Leaf Therapeutics, the best video. And now for the grand prize winner for MedTech Innovator 2020 for the $350,000 prize, non-dilutive funding, the winner is Rayos.
Whoa!
Oh my God! Oh my God! Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Oh, I have my. This is I'm just such at a loss for words. This means so much. So many different groups, especially the hydrocephalus community, who is often forgotten, overshadowed, but not today. Not today. Thank you so much.
Annalisa, you're a star, you're a rock star, your company is tremendous, your team is fantastic. The work you're doing for hydrocephalus and for flow in general, for not just, for being able to monitor with just a little patch that you stick in your neck. I mean, this is incredible technology. We're so happy to see what you're doing. That this is something that we're so excited about. So thank you for that. Fantastic work. I want, all of us, again, let's go back to the gallery view for 1 second if we haven't done it. I just want all of us to applaud for Rayos. Just so impressive to see the work they're doing at that company. All of you, however, as I said, are incredible. All of you are winners. Rayos, you get the, Rayos, do you have anyone off camera over there who can check?
Yeah, my husband, he can present the check.
So presenting the check to Rayos for the grand prize.
My husband. That's my husband.
Just need a Rayos.
You want to get Parker?
Okay.
We'll see if we can get my son out here.
So by the way, lest anyone think this was rigged, every one of the winners has that same check, or anyone of the winners has that same check with somebody off camera. Please, whoever you have off camera, bring in your $25,000 check. If you didn't get the grand prize, you guys all deserve that. So terrific job, Annalisa. Amazing work. So I know we're all gonna. So everyone, get your checks. Bring your $25,000 checks. We want to see everybody with their checks. Now, by the way, judges, you want to say one last thing? Congratulations, kind of things. Go ahead.
Congratulations! Awesome job, all of you.
Good job.
Congratulations, well deserved. Very, very happy about it.
All right. So all of you, as I said, if you have your check off screen, you're welcome to bring that in. We're now going to be joined by MedMark. So George Ade is going to do a toast for all of the companies that were part of this program. We're going to do a champagne toast. So if you guys have a champagne glass, please take that out. And we're going to transition to the champagne toast.
Hi, I'm George Ade with MedMark Insurance. We protect the manufacturers, contract manufacturers, and distributors of medical technology and life science products. I want to start this mimosa toast off by recognizing the incredible work that Paul Grant and his team have done again for this 8th year. as MedTech Innovator, the world's largest MedTech accelerator, continues on its mission to improve the lives of patients by accelerating the growth of companies transforming healthcare system. This year, they reviewed over 1,000 submissions from over 45 countries. I toast to all the judges, the mentors, the sponsors, and innovators. However, as I raise a glass and wish continued success to all of you, the 62 showcase companies, the 5 finalists as well, I especially recognize this year's 2020 grand prize winner, Annalisa Somera with Rayos. May you continue to transform the healthcare system as you build this company and the next. Cheers.
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 Here, George. Thank you. George sent me a champagne glass, which I left at home. But thank you, George, for doing that. Thank you for sending the champagne glasses to all of our companies. Every single one of them have one of those. Thank you, George. MedMark is an incredible partner. You've been with us through the whole road tour, through the whole season. Thank you for that. We've been thrilled to have you guys as partners. So again, if we go back to the gallery view, let's see everybody again. I want to see everyone celebrating. Annalisa's got her family there. Look at that. This is really what it's all about, right? If we're at home, let's see us at home, right? Congratulations. Again, terrific job to all of our finalists. I'm gonna everyone again one more time. I mean, Alex Schuler at Selvi, what an amazing presentation, game-changing technology for heart therapy. Faris Siddiqui and Circadia Health, just an incredible remote patient monitoring technology, something that's really gonna be game-changing across the industry. Rohan over at Leaf, I'm getting a Leaf. I'm putting one on because God knows I need one of those. I got to be able to stay in control and keep my heart rate down. Thank you for what you're doing. Mark Barish at Moray Medical, fantastic technology. It's going to be game changing for cardiovascular surgery, really putting the technology in the hands of thousands and thousands of surgeons. And Annalisa, again, your team at Rayos, we toast you here with MedMark again and celebrate the work you're doing. All of you, you guys are fantastic. Thank you for being part of this program. Thank you for all that you guys do. All of you are part of our family. You will be forever. As you saw the MedTech Innovator finalists speaking just a little while ago, they're all continuing to be part of the program, not just the finalists, but all 340 companies that are part of the MedTech Innovator family. We're fantastic. We're thrilled to have you guys in this family. And thanks again, AdvaMed, for being our partners. Everyone from Scott Whitaker, Ray Briscusa, Wendy Saminsky, Beth, Aaron, Cecilia, Leslie, the list goes on and on over at AdvaMed. I mean, what an amazing team. You guys are incredible. This virtual conference has blown me away so far. Your ability to pull together a virtual event like this in the middle of a pandemic is just mind-boggling to me. I think there's something like 400 sessions that had to be coordinated over the last several months. Unbelievable. Thanks, Ryan, over Projection, for this great job at running this live stream. Thanks to Liz and Catherine and Brian and Uni and the other members of the MedTech Innovator team who've been part of this too. We could not do this without you. And of course, all of our partners. You guys are just incredible, not just the judges who we had today on screen, but all of the corporate partners at MedTech Innovator. Thank you for being part of this. You guys are making a huge impact on the future of medical innovation, and we thank you for doing that. So great job, everybody.
We want to see the confetti.
Oh yeah, my husband will do the confetti.
Yes, confetti, live confetti. And the winner is Rayos.
I think my neighbors will think it's a gender reveal. I'm just gonna run with it.
Congratulations again.
Thank you.
Thanks, Annalisa.
Bye.
All right, everybody. I know there's a break coming up. If we're still live, I just want to tell everybody, go to medtechinnovator.org. That's where you can learn about these companies as well as all the companies in our program. You can apply for MedTech Innovator 2021. The application goes live this month, if you can believe it, for next year's program, medtechinnovator.org. If you want to be part of this story, we would love to hear from you. We're looking forward to hearing about your company. medtechinnovator.org/apply is the URL to apply. And if you're one of the people who are not one of our corporate partners yet, and you want to be part of this journey, we have several who've already signed on for next year that I haven't announced yet. They'll be announcing soon. But if you want to be one of our partners next year, we'd love to have you be part of this. So looking forward to seeing everyone again very soon, hopefully in person. Thanks again, everyone.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Ray.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Lisa.
Thank you.
Congratulations, everyone. I'm not sure if we're still live, but we are. If we are, I just want to say one other thing too, which is that MedTech Innovator next year is planning on having a virtual program in the spring. But if things clean up and we're able to get out there and to be there in person, I promise you we will be there in person in your cities. So if you want MedTech Innovator in your city, please do reach out to us. We'd be thrilled to visit your city. We typically do a road tour that goes from anywhere from 7 to 14 different cities around the world every year. Also, we have our Asia Pacific program, which is running now live as well. So we have our finals coming up November 18th for the Asia Pacific program. You can learn more about that also on our website at medtechinnovator.org. We have 20 amazing companies in the Accelerator in Asia Pacific from all across the region. So you'll have a chance to meet companies, whether they're from China or Japan or Singapore or Korea, etc., India. We have amazing companies in that program. You'll want to tune in for the MedTech Innovator Asia Pacific Finals on November 18th. You can learn about that on our website. If you go to the website, you can find out where to subscribe so you can get notifications.